All right, guys, something new today. We're actually kind of on the road. We're actually in Langley, British Columbia. Got the sun setting behind us, kind of a cool view. So we'll do our customer questions out here in Langley, BC. So the first question we got today comes from Catherine in Chilliwack. So again, it's about costs, just as costs in general. So a few things to think about with costs is, what is the total cost of having a pet like a dog? Not just the food. And I know a lot of customers, to be honest, customers come to us all the time to talk about this, that one of the big benefits of feeding raw is the reduction in vet bills. And so the cost of raw versus kibble, depending on what kind of kibble you're feeding, it's relatively close. So if you're feeding a good quality kibble, you can feed a good quality raw at a similar cost. Now, if you get into really specialty meats like venison, which is very expensive right now, or beef, which is very expensive right now, it's going to be more expensive than if you're feeding, say, pork or chicken or other proteins that aren't quite so expensive. And those kind of proteins relative to even a good kibble or moderate kibble, especially for a medium to small dog, it's going to be negligible. But the cost of vet costs could be quite different. And so that's one way where people have really realized that the value of, even if it did cost them a bit more on some of the raw food, for the dog to be that much healthier, it's just worth it. So just good kind of review of the cost choices you have there. So we have Catherine, another Catherine, interesting. Another Catherine from, Chilliwack as well. Different Catherine from Chilliwack as well. She asked about one dog having allergies. Is raw better? One of the big things that people ask us to help with when they transition to raw is to do with allergies. And absolutely, it's super helpful for allergies. One of the first things we generally do is an elimination diet. The most common elimination diets that we do will be with, say, pork, like a pork diet, which is just pork, organ, and bone. Or kangaroo is super popular for that as well. Same thing, it'll be kangaroo, bone, and organ. Both of those, it's very rare to have allergens against those. And so if you're feeding food like a huge range, or even like kibble, which kibble has so many ingredients, people forget that. When you buy a kibble that says, say, beef or lamb or whatever it might say on the bag, it's gonna have 40 to 90 ingredients in there. And many of those you're not gonna be able to pronounce or even know what it is. And so there's a huge range of things that can be the problem besides what the label says is protein, or says it's chicken, or says it's lamb, or says it's whatever. And so one of the first steps we always encourage is do an elimination diet where you can go to one protein like pork, like kangaroo, and just eliminate everything else from their diet. You can't give them the one protein forever, but you can for quite a long time. And it allows them to just purge out other allergens from their system that are food-based. So a great place to start, if you have a dog with allergen problems, definitely look at feeding raw. It's a super smart idea, super helpful. Now we have Bobby. Bobby is from Surrey, BC. Bobby just asked, is it healthy? Is raw healthy? You know, sometimes I don't know where to start with this one, but I'll start here. Canines like dogs and felines like cats spent thousands of years eating raw food. Thousands. You know, your wolves, your coyotes, your foxes, they weren't outside having a barbecue cooking their food. They definitely were not cooking carbs, compressing them, putting chemicals in it and eating it. So they are far more adept to eating raw food. And so it is definitely far better for them. It's far more natural for them. It's far more aligned with their digestive system. Their digestive system was built over thousands of years to eat raw food. And so they really are, it really is good for them. It really is healthy for them. The next question we have is from Linda. Linda from, where's she from? Vancouver, BC. She asks about bacteria. Bacteria is a great question. People are always concerned. You and I are very concerned when we eat, say, chicken, how careful we gotta be about cooking it. Dogs and cats' digestive systems are different than ours. And a dog's digestive system is able to resist bacteria more than ours is. At the same time, I do suggest you pay attention to where your food is coming from. We stock hundreds of options that are from facilities that have good food safe programs, and we also look for products where human grade products are being used to make it. So pay attention to that. If you have questions around certain brands, we can help you out there. That's very important. And then also when you handle it, being conscious as to how long you thaw it out for, that type of stuff is very important. Don't thaw it out for too long. We generally put it in the fridge a day or two ahead of time, depending on how much we have 4 dogs, so we actually put a fair amount in there. So honestly, after even 2 days, it's still partially frozen. But it depends how many dogs you're feeding. If you only have 1 dog and you're putting 1 patty, just put it in the fridge the evening before so it starts to thaw out. I really like the patties because they're easy to portion, and it keeps it safe, keeps the bacteria levels to a minimum. And also the other thing to think about is I want people to go and look up all the recalls in kibble. People constantly worry about the bacteria in raw and talk about it, but just go look for a second how many millions of pounds or hundreds of thousands of pounds or thousands of bags of kibble were recalled last year, the year before, all for bacteria. It'll blow your mind. The next one we have here is from Monique. Monique asks, so she is from Abbotsford, BC. So Monique asks this question. She has senior dogs. She has 2 Newfies, 12 and a half years old. Should she be concerned about the percentage of protein they get daily? In general, I wouldn't be overly concerned. I'm not sure if you're concerned more or less. I would suggest this. Newfies are actually known for losing muscle mass. So by having a higher protein meal, it's going to be very good for them to maintain that muscle mass. Far better than, say, feeding kibble. So one, I would definitely suggest getting them on raw if they're on raw already. I wouldn't be concerned about them getting excessive amounts of protein. A Newfie especially will benefit from having a high protein diet. One thing to watch though is how much fat is in the food. So not too much fat is always a wise idea. There are some challenges with that over time, but as far as protein goes, definitely good for them, specifically good for large Newfies. Yeah, any other questions, let me know. I'll be happy to help you out there, but definitely a wise choice. All right, we'll do one more today. We have Juanita. Juanita is from Surrey, BC. We are based here, so it's pretty common for the questions from here to come from here, but we do get them once in a while from other places. And the question, where to go? Juanita's question is similar. Is it safe for pets? And the question, yeah, it's safe for pets. Again, let's be careful as to how we're feeding it, that we're not leaving it on the counter for hours on end, that we're feeding fresh food, that type of stuff. But raw is definitely good for your pets. They developed for hundreds of years or thousands of years actually to eat raw. So definitely very good for them. And yeah, it's a brilliant idea. So it's definitely good for them. If anybody else has questions, you can email me at info@wildatheartpets.com. I'll be happy to answer anytime. You can also, send me a message here on Facebook. We'll answer questions every single day. I'll be honest, I have a list of 400 questions people have sent in over the last little while, and I'm just going to go through them. So if you want to add your questions to the list, I'll keep answering questions every single day and just start the conversation with folks. And of course, if you guys have ideas or thoughts or feedback on what you're doing with your pets, put it in the comment section, whether it be on the live right now or as we cut this up into small pieces, put it in the comment section. We're always looking for feedback. That's fantastic. I'll give one more question, and it was from Marina, and she is from Abbotsford, BC, and it's just about simply, is raw food better than dry food? I'll go back to my earlier example. Dogs and cats spent thousands of years eating raw food. No dog or cat was having a barbecue in the middle of the forest to cook what they just killed. It was raw. And they developed a digestive system to eat raw. They developed the ability to consume it, digest it, use the nutrients. Those are the nutrients they need. And so they are literally built for it. Versus kibble has only been around for 50 years, whatever it's been. And there's just cooked carbs, lots of stuff in there. So it's good for them. They literally are made for it. So definitely a good idea. Thank you guys all for joining. I appreciate it. I had a couple people come in and out. If you guys have any questions you want to send me, please, just either message on Facebook, Instagram, or email at info@wildatheartpets.com. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And thank you very much for joining. Appreciate it. Have a great night.